Susan Gardner here for Municipal World. We're at the 2019 Transforming Local Government Conference in Reno, Nevada. Joining me in our media center is the Alliance for Innovation's CEO and President, Joel Carnes. Welcome, Joel.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming in to chat with us. Municipal World, of course, is a corporate partner with the Alliance for Innovation, and trying to spread the word about your work in Canada. And one of the questions that I get a lot is, what exactly is the Alliance for Innovation?
Well, the Alliance for Innovation is a 40-year-old organization driving innovation in local government. But we do it in a pretty unique way. We have created a platform for our members to collaboratively drive innovation with and for each other. So we identify the very best things going on in local government, and then we shine a light on that and bring it to the rest of our members. We build specific connections from member to member so they can learn from each other and grow together and level up their organizations together.
Fantastic. It's one of the reasons that it's a great fit for Municipal World, because we also focus on sharing the best innovations and emerging practices that local governments have to share with each other. So let's talk a little bit about you. How long have you been in the role now with the Alliance?
I'm pretty ripe now. I've been here for almost 9 months.
9 months. Yeah. You've got a pretty interesting background in technology and innovation, and one of the most interesting parts of your resume, I think, is the time that you spent at Disney as an Imagineer. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Disney Imagineering is what you might think it is. It's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for people who like to build stuff. So we were in charge of building the physical elements of Disney parks. Although in my role as a senior strategist in the R&D section of Imagineering, I was actually working on putting a digital layer around the guest experience before you enter the park, while you're in the park, and after you leave. And it could be all sorts of very subtle little things, but what we're really trying to do is break down the barriers between the physical world and the digital world. So imagine you're at Disneyland, and you're walking down Main Street, and you get a little prompt on your phone that there's an AR, a little exciting thing for you to look at. So you get out your phone, you see beautiful fireflies flying in your phone in the street, and you can use your phone and grab them and capture them, and now they're in your phone, and they're buzzing around, and they're your little fireflies, and you're very proud of yourself. And you keep on walking down Main Street, and you're enjoying your day at Disneyland, and you get to a special place, and your phone buzzes again, and you're prompted to release your fireflies. So you blow into your phone, and your fireflies appear in the tree in front of you, physically manifesting in the real world. So we found hundreds of gags like this to layer on to the guest experience at the park, and guests will start to experience some of these things in the new Star Wars land that's opening this summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's a lot of fun.
So that experience that you bring from that background, how does that translate into, this is just like your job interview all over again. How does that translate into the work you're doing now for the Alliance for Innovation?
Well, Disney, the mega corporation, is not all Imagineering. And I didn't always work in Imagineering. So I worked in other areas of the company that were much more hidebound and tradition-oriented, and much more actually difficult to do any true innovative work. And when I got over to Imagineering, the gates opened, and you could see the difference in the culture right away. For example, when you walk in on your first day of Imagineering, they show you where your spot is, and then they give you $250. What's that for? It's to decorate your desk. And so people will decorate their desks as little tropical paradises or igloos or whatever it is. And then as you're working there over time, you'll start to find groups of people pushing their desks together and creating entire communities. It's like a little mini Burning Man inside these giant warehouses that house the Imagineers. And it's that little subtle thing of just saying, you own your physical environment. Do whatever you want with it. Right? In fact, show us who you are through that. that type of ethos permeates everything at Imagineering, and it informs the type of cultures that I work with our members to try and build. You want to push decision-making down as far as possible, right? Decentralize it. The people who are on the front lines, working with constituents, should be empowered to make the decisions that they need to do in order to make the organization work in its most effective way. And once you just start giving people power over every decision you possibly can, then you'll start to see those things happen.
So, in the local government context, what does this this kind of approach, how can that translate for municipalities, for local governments in their work?
We're working with them to figure out ways to de-risk their management structures. Right? So everyone is reporting to someone, and those someones are inevitably reporting to the general public. So what we need to do is, if we want to truly empower workers, we have to de-risk it for the managers, and we have to de-risk it for their managers and for council and for everybody else. And one way we do that is through this platform, by sharing these stories of just these incremental changes. We were able to do this. And when someone else does something, it makes it okay. It's like, that's all right. So they've already done this. Yes, it does normalize it. And so not everyone can or should be the first. We'll just let someone be the first, and we'll find that person and bring it across and help normalize it for everyone else. I'm trying to think of a great example of that, and it might be as simple as formatting your strategic plan. So you've got a 3-year strategic plan. It's this wonderful 100-page document, and you have invested a lot of time and energy in making it, and it's very forthright, and it reads like a mighty government tome. If you were to empower your team, they might decide that actually a manga comic book is the best way to deliver the strategic plan out to the public. And that's a risky endeavor, right? Are you minimizing all the work that you've just done? Maybe, if you do it wrong. But the person who is the person in charge of handing that plan to the general public should also be the one who says what is going to be best and what is going to land best. So you give them the option of having that manga version of the plan to hand out, and we have seen that, and it has been successful.
So making a safe space inside the organization for innovation to occur is part of it, you're saying? And then making connections to the outside, to your community as well.
As an example, once you get the community behind you, then it's a lot easier to take risk.
Okay, so we've had the chance to chat with lots of communities that are part of the Alliance and hear their stories, and while people are really passionate about the Alliance for Innovation and for the annual conference and all of that. How do you explain that? What keeps that passion alive? How do you sustain that excitement around innovation and TLG and all of this?
So there are tens of thousands of local government organizations across North America. We don't aspire to work with all of them. Right? We create a place that attracts a certain type of person. They're going to have a few characteristics. They're do-it-yourselfers. Right? We're not walking in with bags of money and saying we're going to fund transformation programs for you. We're inviting you to create your own transformation programs. They're inclusive. They're open and looking to do things with other people. They're authentic. They're not going to just do what we say or what someone else says. They want to do their own thing. Keep Austin weird, right? It's got to be a local, authentic solution for that organization. And then lastly, they're not satisfied with the status quo. So these are people who go to bed every night thinking about what they did that day and what's going to make it better tomorrow. And this is just the type of person we have. So that said, sometimes it's a little lonely being that person. It's
yes.
hard, right? It is we have a phrase, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it is a place of uncomfort, purposeful. And some people like to work out alone, and some people like to go to the gym and be with others.
Right.
So this is your chance to be in community as you're doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And this type of work we're talking about is heavy lifting. So while there's a big part of it of sharing the stories and learning lessons, there's only so much you're going to learn in 3 days, right? You're not going to learn how to play the violin like a virtuoso, but you're going to be exposed to a new symphony, and you're going to meet other music lovers. And that's what we're really looking for here, is to build the connections that then you take home with you and that play out over decades. We don't count Alliance members in quarters, we count them in decades. That's the relationship that we build with our members.
So, attendance at the conference, not just limited to members though. Other folks who work in local government invited to attend as well. What kind of experience would they expect here at TLG?
I think those same characteristics, this inclusive thing, we want those people who are our members, are non-members in local government, and just people who support this vision of building thriving communities by transforming local government. There's a real opportunity for us at the beginning of the 21st century to do things differently, to challenge assumptions, not to break everything, but to just, I use the phrase level it up because I'm a gamer. And in gaming, we talk about leveling up and just constantly improving and taking wherever you're at and just doing better. That there's this constant need to continue to level up. And anyone who wants to level up their community is welcome at TLG. And we'll find a story and we'll find partners that they can bring home with them. And you'll find over the next few years at TLG, we're going to actually kind of double down on our outreach outside of the Alliance and really looking to bring in a lot more of those just kind of like-minded folks from academia, from the private sector, from philanthropy, other nonprofits, other media outlets. People who want to be part of this movement are welcome.
Kind of bringing in the best minds to help contribute to the learning for local governments.
No matter how brilliant your organization, the best minds always work somewhere else. All right. So once you recognize that, then you can just open yourself up and say, well, I just have to find a place that's going to invite them in to come to me.
Right. What can we learn from each other?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Joel, for coming in and chatting with us. We're looking forward to the conference, as always, and to the continued good work from the Alliance.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you. I'm Susan Gardner for Municipal World. We share your stories.